I love to DIY my own gifts, don't you? We're going to be creating this really fun Andy's Mint box. What a great way to give a little gift, maybe to say thank you, I love you, thinking of you, or happy Easter. Let me show you how fun it is to create these DIY gifts. Welcome everybody to today's Tuesday tip. I'm Connie Stewart. I'm super excited to teach you this project. Let's get started. Before we get started, I want to let you know that my download today has diagrams. So I have made creating the Andy's Mint box so super easy. So you're going to want to grab that download. I'll have more information on where you can get that for free here in just a minute. We're going to start with the front of our box, and this has the card. This has been cut 5.5 by 6 3/8. I want to put the 5.5 up at the top, and I'm going to score that in half at 2 3/4. Make sure my cutting blade's out of the way. All right, that is the card for my box. Now we'll move on to the match box, because this box does have that really unique fold. This is a 6 3/8 by 8.5 piece of berry burst. Now what we're going to want is at 8.5 up at the top, and we are going to score at 1 7/8 and 2 3/4. And just so you know, the 1 7/8 is in between the 1 3/4 and 2 inch. So you're going to find the center of those two. That's going to be your 1 7/8. And now again at 2 3/4. I'm going to swing out the arm here, and we're going to score again at 5 3/4. And then 6 5/8. And that 6 5/8 is going to be in between the 6.5 and 6 3/4. So just find your line right there. One more score line. That's going to create that fabulous matchbox. All right, it's time to do our last bit of cutting, and that's on our designer series paper. I'm going to be using the Delightfully Floral Designer Series paper. I loved this one, and it's going to go along with our stamp set for today, Translucent Florals. So this one just went really, really pretty together. Now, we're ready to do our cutting. My designer series paper actually has a pattern to it. You know, you see how my flowers are going this way? Well, I want to make sure I rotate it so that my flowers, or whatever your pattern might be, is going this way. Because my very first cut, you can see, is a 2.5 by 6. By the way, this is just a 6 by 6. So we're going to start with a 2.5 by 6. Again, see how my paper is going this way? Because when it goes on the front of my card, I want to make sure my pattern's going in the correct direction. Now, let's say you wanted your matchbox to open this way. You can do that, and you can use that paper going the other way. But for my sentiment and the items that I'm using today, I wanted to make sure I was going this direction. All right, we've got that one cut. Let's move on to our next cut, and that is, I need 2 pieces that are 1/2 inch by 6. All right, easy, easy. 1/2 and 1/2. By the way, it doesn't matter what end you're cutting from. All right, now we're going to cut a 3/4 inch piece. So let me cut a 3/4 inch piece, but you see we need to do a little more cutting to that one. So for that, we're going to cut it down to 2 7/8. Remember, that is in between the 2 3/4 and the 3. So let's get us a 2 7/8 by that 3/4. I'm going to do one more. So just a little smidge will come off there. And now we need 2 more pieces that are 3/4 by 6. So we'll get a couple more here. And let me show you, you are going to have just a sliver left over. So my designer series paper is cut according to the diagram. All right, it's time to come in with our Andy's Mint box. So this is the box. It'll have 28 pieces in it. These typically run here in the United States about 2 boxes for $5. So I like to pick these up whenever I find them. And of course, if I find them on sale, that's even better. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to remove the wrapping. All right, remove that wrapping. This is what your box is going to look like. Kind of dull, right? So let's liven it up with all that designer series paper. And friends, this is so easy. I am simply going to adhere the 1/2-inch pieces, you're going to know exactly which pieces go where. I'm telling you, it's so easy. Here are the little pieces. These are going to go here on the side. And these 3/4 inch pieces, well, they're going to go on the outside. I mean, really, it's that simple. So I'll tell you what, give me just a second. I'm going to get all these adhered onto my box. All right. Doesn't that box just look a whole lot better now? I know. Okay, now let's create the matchbox that's going to go around our Andes mint. We're going to give all those creases, all those score lines, let's give them a really good crease. I do recommend a bone folder for this project because we want this to wrap around and we want those crease lines to be good and tight. All right, so to adhere this together, I'm going to put adhesive down this side and then here on the inside, so when I bring this together, it will go together just right. All right, I'm going to put adhesive all the way down. You know, it is a box. We don't want it coming undone. And now remember, this one went on the inside. There we go. When you put this together, your candy is going to go face up. Don't worry, we're going to hide this seam. No one will see that. When you put this together, don't press it too hard. It's a matchbook, and so we want it to be able to open. So I'm going to give it just a gentle, whoops, let me try that gentle touch one more time, just a little bit. I want to make sure my candy will slide in and out. Yep, I feel like that's plenty loose enough, so I can give that a press now. Look at that. Oh, perfect, perfect. Okay, the matchbox is done. We're now going to add that Fresh Freesia card, and you see that's going to hide that seam. So we're just going to put adhesive on the back of this, center it up from top to bottom. It will go all the way to the outside. There's my card. Remember that 2.5 by 6 designer series paper? Well, that's just going to adhere right onto our card. And guess what? It's now time to do some stamping. I've got 3 pieces of basic white here. So this is a 2.5 by 6. This is a 1 by 6. And this is actually a scrap, but you'll want it to be about, 2.5 by 3.5. My sentiment for my Andes mint box came from throughout the year. That Happy Easter was just absolutely perfect for my project today. I'm going to be using 2 ink pads, Berry Burst and Shaded Spruce. So I'm going to start here with that Berry Burst to stamp my sentiment. Now this 1 by 6, I want you to stamp this all the way over onto the right side, just like so. Now this is going to be adhered on the front of our card. It's going to line up with the designer series paper. So I'm going to add that. Now for the inside of the card, we're going to take, that would be the 2.5 by 6. And now it's time for that Shaded Spruce. So let's bring in, I'm going to have some grid paper underneath me here because I know I'm going to be stamping off. Now this stamp set is what we like to call a distinctive stamp set. So when you go to ink up this stamp, I don't want you to press too hard. Just tap it lightly because Stampin' Up! Has done all this great shading for you and we don't want to destroy that. And when you stamp, keep your pressure on your stamp a little lighter and you get a really great look. All right, with that Berry Burst, I'm going to take another stamp again. See, just lightly tapping there on your ink pad. And light pressure, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I'm going to come back in with my Happy Easter and let's just add that here at the top. While I've got my ink pads out, I'm going to go ahead and take that scrap and I'm going to stamp a set of leaves there, and then I'm going to use a bigger flower for this one. So I'm going to bring in one of the other flowers and we'll stamp that right there. So I'm using the bundle on this project. So we're going to take the matching die, and I've got those little leaves as well. Let's run these through our die cutting machine. I've got base plate 1 and thin die adapter 2, and then cutting plate 3. Now we can add our stamped images. Get your dies set right around the edges. Top it with cutting plate 3. Now we're ready to run this through our machine. And we've got these really great die cut images. Let's bring our box back in. We're going to add those right here to really make this a wow. I'll add a little adhesive right there. Kind of decide how I want that to look. I think that's good. I'll give that a press. Now I'm going to come in with Stampin' Dimensionals for the back. I like to put a Stampin' Dimensional where I have adhered those leaves just as a little extra precaution. Now we'll add that to the front of our box. I've got adhesive here on the inside of my card, so this is where I'm going to write my message. There we go. Oh my gosh, look at this fun project. And I thought the colors of the Andes mints went so well with this paper. What a fun Easter project. This would go great in that Easter basket. Or you could change this to just thinking of you, happy birthday, whatever you wanted it to be. And friends, I mean, fabulous project that you're going to be able to use all year long. Don't forget to save your free download that goes along with today's video. You'll have the measurements, the supply list, and yes, those diagrams, so you can recreate this project for any occasion. Just go to simplysimplestamping.com or look down in the YouTube description for a direct link. I've got another project to share with you, and this one I kind of did, well, it could be Valentine's or it could just be sending you lots of love. And this one used the red Andes mints. So these are the peppermint ones, and the box is white. But can I tell you something? When I went to shoot the video, I couldn't find these anywhere. I could not. So I'm not going to show you how to put this one together because I only had the green mints and it just didn't quite go with my theme here. But I wanted you to see this one because hopefully you can track down the peppermint Andes mints. They're amazing. And this project all was done the exact same way. You can see here, my stamp set came from the Heartfelt Hexagon bundle. This one has a matching punch, so that's how I did that there. Little red ribbon. But again, remember what I said about this one is you can use it for any time of year, any occasion. So feel free to get creative. And oh my goodness, if you come across those red Andes mints, please tell me where you found them because they are nowhere to be found here in my state. There we go, my friends. What a fun way to give a simple gift that is super affordable. Like I said, about $2.50 here in the United States, and a very, very special gift. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, I would love a thumbs up on YouTube. Thank you so much for that. And if you haven't subscribed, take a minute to click that subscribe button. YouTube will let you know whenever I'm back with another video. Have a great day, everybody. Can't wait to stamp with you next time. Bye-bye.